All right, so last time we mentioned how to change from standard form, no, general form to standard form, right? So we only try the one that has positive. The one with the minus is on the right hand side, okay? But basically the same, it just change the sign a little bit. We have one last one down here, question D. Okay, 3 steps are factor A, and then divide by 2, and then balance. Okay, so we'll go over this one, okay, one by one again. So here we have 3 terms, right? So if it's 3 terms, we pretend the plus 4 is not here for the moment. Okay, pretend it's not there. So we will factor A first. So what number do we factor out? Henry, what do we factor out?
-3.
Yeah, very good. Okay. And Jenny, if I take out -3, what's left?
X squared
Yeah. And then
minus 6x.
like that?
Yes.
Okay. How do you check if you did it right? If you multiply back in, do you get the same thing back, Jenny?
Oh, no.
No, right? So if you take it out, right, means you have to divide by the thing that you take out. So how do I make it correct?
You make it negative. Oh, wait, no, positive 3x. No, 2x, sorry.
Yeah, okay. So that's how you check, okay? In the homework, if you got this one wrong, you probably did some mistake in the homework as well. If you take it out, it will change the thing inside. Okay, factoring the GCF, right? We factor the -3, means you need to divide by -3. So that's your step 1, factor A. Okay, if you forgot, what's factor A? This is factor A. Step 1. Okay, Tony, what is step 2?
Step 2, I think it's to find the divided by 2, right?
Okay, which number should we divide by 2 here?
2x.
Just the 2. Just take the number, divide by 2.
Yeah,
Okay, what's 2 divided by 2?
1.
Okay, so what do we do with the 1?
We put it in the right side of the 2x, so like plus 1 squared brackets, and yeah.
Yeah, very good. Okay, always plus. Okay, so that's your step 2 is to divide by 2 and then put the number there, put a square around it, right? Step 3, what is step 3, Aaron?
For the outside, you have to like balance.
Yeah, balance what you added in, right? So what do we do to balance?
It's plus 1, like 1 squared, and then wait, is it plus 1?
So
Or
if
like minus?
inside a bracket you have plus 1 squared, so you need to balance. You need to do
Oh, yeah, minus 1 squared,
Yeah, what else?
and then I'm pretty sure you multiply by 1.
Here you need to multiply by -3 because the
Oh.
outside you have a -3.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. What else? What else?
then you add 4.
Yeah, because the add 4 we ignore at the beginning. You need to add it back in. Okay, so this whole part here is called balance. So that's your step 3. Okay. So once you got to this point, everything's correct here, then you're halfway done, right? Finally, you just write out the form. The -3 stays at the front. You put a big bracket and then square on the outside. So what should go inside the bracket now? Geoffrey?
X plus 2.
You grab the first one, which is X, and then you grab the last one, which is, yeah. Okay, so inside should be what?
X plus 1.
Yeah, X plus 1. Okay, double check your homework. Okay, make sure you use the right terms inside. Okay, and then we have the outside, the green part. Okay, the green part, you need to follow the order of operation. Okay, so Naomi, what's the green part in equal?
The green part equals 2.
What's the order that you do it?
Exponents, then
Okay,
multiplication, and then
exponent here,
addition.
one by one. Okay, exponent here, what does it become?
1.
1 square will be 1, right?
Yeah.
Will that negative disappear?
No.
Okay, so -1 times -3 plus 4, like that now, right?
So 7.
Yeah, so it become +3 plus 4, so it should end up with 7. Okay, so plus 7. So that's your standard form right here. A lot of work, okay, but we break it down into step 1, 2, 3. And remember order of operation, okay, then you should get this right. Okay, can you raise your hand if you finish everything up to here? All right, so now last thing is to write out APQ, okay? APQ. So remember at the beginning, right? Look at the 3 example we have here, up here, right? For the first one, if you have x minus 5, p is 5, okay? For the second one, if there's no bracket, then p is 0, because there's nothing adding or subtracting with the x, okay? P is 0. If it's x plus 3, p is -3. Okay, so look at the sign, it's different, right? Plus 3, p will be -3. Minus 5, p will be 5. Okay, because for p, it has to be after the subtraction. Okay, so double check your homework, because APQ, that's the number I'll be marking. Okay, so look at this one. What's the value of A? Angeline?
-3.
Yeah. And Bernice, what's the value of P?
-1.
Very good. And let's have Valerie, what's value of Q?
7.
Okay, so remember, if it's adding on the inside, P should be a negative number. Okay, I keep pointing out all the common mistakes. Okay, order of operation, the sign, okay, so watch out on those. So that's for the left side, okay? Right side, basically, if you know the left, the right side, the only difference it will make is the sign inside the bracket, okay? So I will go over one question on the top, and then you can try the rest of them, okay? Steps are all the same. So go over question A on the right side together. Okay, so step 1, factor A. So Mackenzie, what's the A that we want to factor out?
1.
Yeah. So we take out the 1, right? 1 is right in front of it. If it's 1, nothing changes, right? X squared is still minus 5x, okay? Step 2, divide by 2. So Wilson, what do we do?
Mr. Jason, what do you mean by divided by 2?
You take the middle number, like over here on the left side. What's the
Is it 2?
middle number here?
Oh wait, 4x.
4. Just the
Yeah,
number.
4.
Okay. You take that
Yeah.
number, divide by 2. It becomes
2.
2. So you put 2 on the right side. Okay. And then
Okay.
add square. So
Okay,
go back
so
here.
is it 2.5?
Okay. So add the middle number is -5, right?
Right.
Okay. So add -5 over 2 or -2.5. Okay.
Okay.
Let's use decimal, looks easier, right? -2.5
And then squared.
and then bracket square. Okay, so that's your step 2. Take the middle number, divide by 2. Okay, next step, step 3 is balance. Okay, Isabella, how do we balance?
We put the -2.5 squared on the outside too.
Yeah. What else?
The 1.
Times by 1. Okay, and don't forget we need to minus at the front. Okay, because you added something extra, right? The red part is you added. So the green part is to balance it back, balance to even it, right? So you need to subtract. Okay, so after that, you just follow the order of operation to get the green part. Okay, now we're ready to write the standard form. Okay, any question up to now so far? Any step not clear? Okay, so now to write the standard form, 1 stays outside. We put a big bracket square. What do we put inside now? And yeah, what do you think? What do we put inside?
You put the you put I think x minus 2.5
X and then what?
minus 2 plus 2.5
Minus 2.5.
minus 2.5, yeah.
Okay, so that's a difference from the left side. Left side, everything's positive. But for the right hand side, because the middle term is negative, so it'll be a negative 2.5. Okay, so you grab the first one, grab the last one. So it'll be x minus 2.5 because the last one is a negative. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then the green part. Kat, what's the green part become? Kat? The green part?
Negative 6.25.
Yeah, negative 6.25. Okay, if you follow the order of operation, the bracket square, it will make the thing positive 6.25, but then the subtract at the front, it doesn't disappear. Okay, so just stays at negative 6.25. Okay, so there you go, right? That's your standard form. So if you compare left and right, okay, the only difference is inside the bracket, it should be a subtraction, okay? Because the middle term is a negative, right? Same thing, we need to write out the APQ. All right, so what's the value of A? Aaron, value for A?
A is 1.
Yeah, okay. Wilson, value for P?
Is it 6.25 or 2.5? Either one of them.
Which one?
2.5, negative 2.5.
If you look at the top, okay, you see the 3 example 1, 2, 3. Wilson,
Yes.
okay, and you compare with the answer that we got here. Does the answer look like number 1, 2, or 3?
It looks like 1 the most.
Yeah. So what's the P?
Is it? It's still 2.5, is it not?
2.5. You said negative 2.5 before.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. 2.5. Okay. So if it's minus, then your P should be a positive. Okay. And what about Q, Tony? Value for Q?
It should be 6.25.
No.
Q.
Yeah, Q is whatever that's outside after the square.
So negative 6.25.
Okay. So A and Q are the easiest ones. What you see is what you write. But for the P, you need to think about it. Okay. Inside you see a minus 2.5, but P is positive 2.5. If your APQ is wrong, today it will affect your, later it will affect your graphing. Okay. So make sure your APQ, you have to get it right 100% of the time. Okay, can you raise your hand if you understand everything so far? So left and right very similar, right? Just the divided by 2, you need to have a negative. Okay, Angeline and Tony, any questions on this one?
No.
Okay, so B, C, D, okay, for you to try. Question C, even though there's a decimal, you still do the same thing, okay? The negative 0.4 is your A. You have calculator when you do factoring. The question D, you have a fraction, same thing. If they give you in fraction, then do all the steps, okay? Do steps with fractions. Okay, you keep everything in fraction, don't change it to decimal. If they give you something that has decimal, then you do steps in decimals. Okay, so don't change to fraction. So just leave the way it is, right? We'll check one at a time, okay? We'll check answer one at a time. Please do question B first. Okay, please raise your hand after you finish B.
Mr. Jason, can you zoom it out a little bit?
Yeah. Is that good?
Yes, thank you.
Please check your answer. Double check your signs. Okay, raise your hand when you finish APQ. Okay, Jenny, what's your answer for APQ?
I got A is 1,
B. What about
P is 1.5,
and
and
Q?
Q is 0.25.
Okay. Okay, Wilson, what's your answer for APQ?
I also got 1.5, 0.25.
Okay, Naomi, yours?
I got 1.5, and negative 0.25.
Okay. Anyone got different? Looks like Q is the one that has different answers. Anyone has something different for Q? Kat, what do you have for Q? Oh, negative 2.25. Okay, because sometimes I don't check the chat. Okay, you can just turn on your mic. Let me see. Negative 2.25.
Oh wait, Mr.
Negative
Jason, sorry. I think it's
25.
for me. I recalculate it's 2.25. I think it's negative as well.
Okay, negative 1.5. Okay, so very debatable, right? Last one. We have 4 different answers here.
I got negative
2, 3, 4,
3.5.
5 different answers. Okay, so we need to go over. Okay, your Q, if your Q is wrong, your graph will be wrong. Okay, so make sure you how to do the order of operation. Q has to do with order, right? Your bed mass. So factor A, right? Divide by 2. So plus what? What do we plus, Wilson?
Sorry.
What do we add now? Your divide by 2.
What do you mean by divided by 2?
Right here, what do I write?
Uh,
You need to know your steps.
I got negative 1.5 squared.
Okay, so plus negative 1.5 squared, like that, right?
Yes.
Okay,
And
and
then
keep on going, balance.
after 1.5 squared, it's minus 2.
No, minus
Wait, no.
2 at the very end.
Oh, okay. Balance is minus negative 1.5 squared, and then 1 times 1.
And then minus,
I think it's minus 2 after.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. You put the minus 2 at the very end. Okay, so right here we have 1. Okay, we'll write out APQ now. So you grab the first one, which is x, grab the last one, negative 1.5, you put it together. So x minus 1.5, whole thing squared. Okay, so now follow your order of operation to get the green part. Negative 1.5 squared is what? What's negative 1.5 squared, Tony? This part. Negative 1.5 in bracket square. What do you get?
Hold on, 1.5 squared. I get positive 2.25.
2.25, right? Okay.
Yes.
So you will have negative 2.25 because that subtraction at the front doesn't go away. Times it by 1 is still 2.25, okay? And then subtract 2. Negative 2.25 subtract 2 should be what?
Should be negative 4.25.
Yeah, okay, so correct answer should be negative 4.25. All right, so those of you got different answers, this is why, okay? So watch out for the sign. Okay, remember this subtraction. Okay, the one I circled it, that subtraction will never go away. Right, it stays there. Okay, the square does not make it disappear. Okay, so negative 2.25 subtract 2 will give you negative 4.25. So be careful on this part, okay? Like I told you, the bed mass, right? I think you guys figure out the inside the bracket, it's okay now for you. The green part is the part that's more trouble, right? Q is negative 4.25. Okay, let's do another one. See if this time we can all have same answer. All right, so please finish question C as well. Raise your hand once you have the answer for APQ. So leave your answer in decimals for this one. Okay, and yeah, what's your value for APQ?
My value for A is negative 0.4,
And then P
1.5,
and Q.
0.9.
Okay. Anyone else? Got something different? Okay, because you can use calculator if you don't know how to divide with decimal, right? Save you time. It should be done in a minute, okay? In 1 minute. If it takes too long, right, you won't be able to finish on time on the test. Okay, Henry, what's your APQ?
I got the same thing.
Okay, everything the same?
Yes.
Okay. Please raise your hand if you finish APQ. All right, so let's go over the steps, okay? See if it's anyone got different. Okay, so first you take out negative 0.4, right? That's your A. Okay, and then what goes inside now after you take out negative 0.4, Wilson? What goes after x squared?
Plus 1.2x.
How? How'd you get that?
Well, is it not this one?
You need to factor the A, right? Take out the A. Do you know?
What do you mean by take out the A?
You know how to factor?
Yeah, I think I do, but like I'm confused right now. Is it
Okay,
not?
so if you look at the left side, okay, let's look at the left question. What's the A that we factor out?
Instead of 8x, you put 4x plus 2 squared.
We took out the 2, right?
Yeah, you took out the 2, but then you put it outside of the bracket.
That's right. Okay, so what's after the x squared? After you take out the 2. Do you put 8x?
No, you didn't put 8x.
What do we put?
Do you put like plus 2 squared?
Okay, I think we need to go over this question, okay? Let's see. You were here last week, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you wrote the notes down?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so let's look at here, all right? Y plus. That was the question, right? So what's the step 1?
You do 2 and then bracket x squared.
And then?
Yeah, that's where I'm stuck. Is it not just plus 8x?
No, because if you put plus 8x, then you change the question. If you multiply back in, right? Do you get the same thing?
Well, yeah. So do you divide 8x by 2 because you took out 2 from the question?
Yeah, that's what factor means. Factor the number means you divide by the number that you take out. Okay?
Okay, so then it's plus 4x.
Yeah. What's after that?
What is after that? I don't know.
Check your notes. What's step 2? You just
What
finished
page?
step 1, right? What is step 2 now?
Divide by 2.
Yeah. What do you do?
I don't get it. What do you mean by like divide by 2?
The
Because
middle number you divide by 2.
so then it's 2.
Yeah. So what do you do with the 2? What do I write?
You do plus 2
Plus 2
squared,
squared. Go on.
and then
Close bracket.
yeah, and then
What's step 3?
balance. So you divide 4x by 2 again, and then you add it to the right side of the bracket.
Balance. Balance. You need to balance the thing that you add. Okay, you added 2 squared. How do you balance that?
Minus 2 squared outside of the bracket.
Yeah, minus 2 squared. What else?
And then
Times
times by 1.
times it by the number that you factored out at the beginning. What's the number you factored out?
You factored out 2.
So you need to times it by 2 as well. Okay?
Okay.
Because the red part is also affected by the 2 you factor out. So when you balance, you cannot just balance the red part. You have to balance the red times the A. Got it?
Got it.
You do the same thing right here. Okay, step 1 is factor A. Can you finish factor A? What happened now?
Wait, for C or for D?
We are doing question C.
Okay. So then it's. Wait, my brain is like. Let me see. So then is it 1.2 divided by 2? Or in this case, 0.4, like negative 0.4?
That's right. Very good. What do you get?
Hang on. You get a negative 3. Is that right?
Negative 3, what?
Yeah.
Three
Negative 3x.
What else?
Negative 3x.
Okay, go on. Step 2.
And then you do plus, no, sorry. Yeah, plus and then bracket negative 4, 0.4, sorry. Negative 0.4 and then squared.
No. What is step 2?
Oh wait, no, sorry. Divide 3 by 2. It's 1.5.
Negative 1.5. Do you know why it's negative?
Yeah, because negative 3x
Yeah. What else I'm missing?
squared.
Yeah. Go on.
And then bracket.
Yeah.
And then it's minus bracket negative 1.5 squared bracket and then times by negative 0.4.
Very good. Okay. Now let's write the answer out. Still you, okay, Wilson? Keep your
Okay.
mind. Yeah. Standard form now.
Let's see. Negative 0.4
Mm-hmm.
bracket x plus
Minus,
negative. No,
minus.
yeah, sorry, minus and then 1.5.
Negative 1.5, so you put minus, okay?
Okay. And then bracket squared.
Yeah.
And then what is that? Hang on.
Yeah, type it into your calculator.
And then plus 2.25. Oh yeah, sorry, I have to include the let's see. And then I think is it minus 0.9?
How do you get that? Can you do
'Cause,
it slowly?
Negative and then bracket like negative 1.5 squared is 2.25.
Positive positive
Huh?
2.25, right?
Yeah, positive 2.25. And then times by negative 0.4, it's negative 0.9.
Okay, but then there's a minus at the front.
So then it's plus 0.9.
Yeah. So what's A?
Negative 0.4,
B
1.5,
and Q?
0.9.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, next one is the one with fraction. Okay, so you got to do everything. Keep it in fraction. Okay, do not turn the 2/5 into decimals. So your answer for the APQ, you should have fraction. Okay. For this one, all three numbers, A, P, Q, they are all fractions. So work with fractions, okay? Refresh your memory with fraction, how to divide with fractions. Adding, subtracting fractions, okay? Gotta review that. All right, so please raise your hand, okay, when you finish D. Okay, we should be almost done by now, okay? If you're still doing it, need to speed up. This one might take a little bit longer because of fraction, okay? Okay, Isabella, what's your APQ?
For A, I got 2/5. P, I got negative 2.5, and
In fraction, please.
oh, uh, I'll have to change it into fractions then. Wait.
Yeah, you do all the steps in fractions. Because sometimes the question, if you change it to decimal, it will become repeating decimal, right? So it's better to know how to work with fractions as well.
So A is 2/5.
Mhm.
P is 5/2.
Negative 5/2.
And then Q is 59/10.
Which one?
Q,
Yeah, what's the number?
59/10.
59/10. Okay, wow, big number. Okay, thank you, Isabel. Henry, what's your answer? APQ. Henry. What's your
Oh,
answer?
sorry, I thought I was unmuted. My bad.
Yeah.
So for A, I got the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then for P, I got positive 5/2.
And Q,
And then Q is not negative 1/2.
-1/2. Okay. Okay, thank you. Let's get another one, see if we can have a match here. Okay, Anya, what do you have?
For A, I have 1.
Mhm.
Wait, no, sorry, I don't. Sorry, for A, I have 2/5.
Okay,
And I have 2.5.
in fraction.
Oh yeah, 2/5 for P.
So same as A.
Yeah, and then for the last one, I have I put it in decimal. I don't know the fraction. 1.25 negative.
-1.25. Do you know how to change that into fraction?
No.
0.25 is like a quarter, right?
Oh yeah,
So like 1
so
over 4.
1 and 5/4.
Yeah, so or -5/4. Okay. Okay, Wilson, how are you doing?
I got the same answer as the second one,
Take
except for like 2/5. But for P, I got -5/2. And then for Q, I got -1/2.
Oh, okay. All right. So kind of like the mix of first one and second one.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay. All right, Mackenzie, let's go over your steps. Okay. How do you start this question? Carry us through. Mackenzie, step 1, what do we do?
Factor out
Factor what out?
the fraction.
Yeah. So what do I write?
2/5.
2/5, and then?
And then x squared
Yeah. And then?
minus
Minus what?
1/5.
1/5. How'd you get that number? What do you need to do to get the number? What's the, Mackenzie, can you keep your mic on? What's the middle number in the question?
-2.
Okay, so you need to take the middle number divided by the number that you take out.
Oh,
Okay, factor A means you divide by the A.
that's 4/5.
Okay, you need to do it on the side. Okay, -2 divided by what?
2/5.
Yeah, divided by 2/5. How do you divide fractions?
Oh wait, okay. So I this like reciprocal the second number.
Mhm.
So it's -1/5.
No. The first number stay the same, right? -2, right? Mackenzie?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then what?
Jason,
Yeah, Kat?
can I go to the bathroom?
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then what?
Multiply 5/2.
Yeah, you need to flip, okay? How do you multiply now?
So -2 multiplied by 5 is -10, and then over 2,
Yeah, -10/2 is
-5.
-5, okay? Not 1/5. So -5x. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Wilson, step 2. Wilson.
Oh yeah, sorry, my mic was muted. Step 2.
Yeah, what do we do?
Is it plus bracket -2.5 bracket squared?
Keeping fraction, please. Plus,
-5/2, and then bracket squared,
okay. And then go on. Step 3.
and then minus bracket -5/2 square bracket squared, and then bracket 2/5 bracket.
What else? What
I
else?
think that's about it. That's all I wrote down.
There should be more. Remember, at the beginning in the question, there's a number at the very end.
Sorry. What do you mean by there's a number
What's
at the
the
very end?
last
Like,
number in the question? What's the last number in the question?
oh, +3. Sorry.
Yeah, don't forget the +3. You need to put it back.
Okay.
The green will balance the red, but then the +3 is from the question, right? We only temporarily ignore it, but we need to put it back as well.
Okay.
Now we need to write out the standard form, okay? So
Okay.
y equals to 2/5. What goes inside the bracket?
2/5 bracket, and then x minus 5/2 bracket squared.
Yeah, okay. Now the green part is the part where everyone has trouble, okay? Yeah, you say it's -1/2, right?
I calculated it without fraction, so I might have to do it again.
Okay, we got to practice working with the fraction. Okay, let's do on the side. Jenny, do you have a different number for the green part? Your Q, what's your Q?
For the green part,
Yeah, the Q, the value.
like final answer.
Sure, yeah.
I got 1/2.
Positive?
Positive.
Okay, positive 1/2. Okay. So,
Mr. Jason.
yeah.
I calculated. I got what is it? 79/25.
79/25.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the number for Q.
That's the number for like the green part. Yeah, Q essentially.
Okay, right. So let's see. Right, we'll do step by step. For some reason, I cannot erase it. Okay. Okay, never mind. We'll continue. Okay, so this green part we're gonna carry out to the side here to do it. So subtract the whole thing square, right? So the square is gonna make everything inside positive. So it'll be 25/4. Okay, you need to know your fraction. Just do everything in fractions. Okay, and then when you multiply those two fractions together, it's still gonna be negative because the minus just stay there. It won't go away. So when you multiply them out, before you multiply, you should reduce. 5 and 25, reduce that. 2 and the 4, you can reduce, right? To make the number smaller. So you should end up with 5/2. Plus 3. Any questions so far? Okay, if you're doing by hand, right, you need to show step by step here. And then to add fractions together, you need to get common denominator. So -5/2 plus 6/2. Add together should give you 1/2. Right, -5 plus 6. So your Q should be 1/2. All right. So fraction makes everything much more interesting. Huh? Okay, so our Q should be 1/2. And P is 5/2. Okay, let's take a break for now. All right, so I will see you guys at 2:45. After the break, we'll start on the graphing. Okay, we will need to use APQ to do the graphs. And if you have questions, okay, or haven't handed in the homework, okay, better do it during the break.